Forget sleek designs and lofty promises. Ford's EV reality is riddled with glitches, delays, and frustrated customers. Software issues mar their once shining Mustang Mach-E. The F-150 Lightning's deliveries are sputtering, and dealers are drowning in a sea of repair orders. But what went wrong? And why are Ford salespeople sounding the alarm? In this video, we will peel back the shiny paint job of Ford's EV ambitions, dissect the dealer outrage, and answer the burning question: is the American electric dream turning into a roadside breakdown? So don't go anywhere, and remember to subscribe to the channel first and hit that like button if you like what you see. Ford is currently dealing with several challenges, primarily related to its all-electric models, during this turbulent moment. Things have gotten so bad that even Ford's official dealers are not holding back when they criticize the brand for having such a terrible track record. A shocking 46% of Ford sellers have clarified that they lack faith in the brand. To fully understand how bad things are for Ford, let's look at some strong reasons why people have so little faith in the company. Let's first talk about the public's reception to Ford EVs, particularly the Mustang Mach-E, which has been less than stellar, to put it mildly. Now, let's dissect the Mustang Mach-E fiasco. I mean, who greenlit slapping the Mustang name on an electric SUV? It's like serving kale at a barbecue. It just doesn't sit right. Fans of the classic Mustang, a symbol of power and performance, were left scratching their heads. Ford took the Mustang legacy, threw it in a blender, and served up a smoothie of disappointment. The public backlash has been relentless, and rightly so. The Mach-E, meant to be a Mustang in disguise, was the family's black sheep. Sales took a nosedive, and the official stats tell a sobering story. The Mach-E's turn rate plummeted from a robust 86.4% to a meager 27.7% within a year. Dealerships now resemble ghost towns with rows of Mach-E's gathering dust, the sound of crickets echoing in the distance. To add insult to injury, the people who have to move these unsold Mach-E's, the dealers, are shouting about their issues. It's like Ford put on noise-canceling headphones and cranked up the volume on denial. The disconnect is almost comical, but it's no laughing matter for dealers drowning in an electric sea of Mach-E's. Even the F-150 Lightning, Ford's golden EV in the lineup, isn't flying off the shelves. Limited capacities, lengthy delivery times, and prices that would make your wallet protest. It's a tough sell for the average Joe. The Lightning may have sparked interest initially, but it seems the flame is dwindling. Now, let's talk about Ford's build quality. The dwindling popularity of Ford's models isn't just a result of poor marketing decisions. It's also about the downright shoddy products they've been churning out. Mustang Mach-E, for instance, has been on a rollercoaster of issues since day one. Drivetrain problems, panel gaps you could drive a truck through, and a quality control level lower than a basement bar. Not what you'd expect from a pricey novelty vehicle. It's like Ford handed out a recipe for disappointment with every Mach-E. But hold on, the EVs aren't the sole culprits in this quality saga. The Ford Maverick is making waves for all the wrong reasons, especially the hybrid version. It's like a drama series with a catastrophic twist. The 2.5 engine has been playing a risky game of Russian roulette, with blocks known to crack and unleash gasoline fumes. Not exactly the kind of combustion we were hoping for, right? And let's not forget the interior fiasco of the Maverick. Customers have turned into unintentional interior design critics, documenting seats that crease faster than a paper airplane, and an interior auditioning for a role in a horror movie, noisy and creaky, just the way nobody likes it. Another thing getting worse is that Ford keeps shoving electric vehicles, EVs, down buyers' throats. Despite public pleas and dealers' pleas for more fuel-powered vehicles, Ford remains steadfast in its EV obsession. Ford Maverick was popular among vehicle enthusiasts in the US, but what's Ford doing? Bottlenecking its production and leaving buyers twiddling their thumbs in frustration. Sure, they promised to cut down waiting times, but let's not celebrate just yet. You may not be waiting a whole year, but a few months of anticipation is still on the table. It's not exactly a smooth ride for a high production economy car, right? Here's where it gets amusing. Ford keeps churning electric models as if the world can't get enough. The Mach-E in particular has become the black sheep of the Ford family, snubbed by the public. Yet, Ford keeps the production line humming. It's like Ford's saying, if you don't want it, we'll make you want it. But here's the reality. Check. The supply of Ford's EVs is playing a lonely game, far surpassing the demand. It's like they're preparing for an electric vehicle apocalypse. What about Ford's grand plan to sell 600,000 EVs annually? Well, let's say reality has different ideas. The company is bleeding green, losing around $58,000 on every EV sold. With projections pointing towards a $3 billion loss in the future, it's safe to say Ford's financial forecast is looking stormy. And guess what? Dealers, the frontline warriors selling these EVs, are giving them the cold shoulder. The reasons are glaring: painfully long sales times and demand about as lively as a Monday morning. To make matters more intriguing, Ford thought it was an excellent idea to strong-arm its dealers into embracing EVs. Enter the new dealer tier system, a move that's about as welcome as a skunk at a perfume store. Ford's attempts to coerce dealers into adopting EVs are like a chess game with all the wrong moves. Moreover, instead of tuning into retailers' needs, Ford decided to crank up the volume in the opposite direction. Enter the new tier system, featuring the oh-so-intelligently named Model E Certified and Model E Approved Elite tiers. Now, Ford sweetens the deal by throwing some money into the dealership pot, around $1.2 million, to be precise, to make it EV ready. Sounds great, right? But dealers must sing along to Ford's fixed price tune, eliminating those pesky dealer markups. Sure, it might save buyers from forking out extra cash, but spare a thought for the retailers. Their profits take a nosedive, and whatever's left is divvied between them and Ford. To add a dash of frustration, Ford dealers that hop on this EV bandwagon will have to clear some room on their lots for these electric wonders. Goodbye variety, hello EV monotony. Customers buckle up for a streamlined selection because internal combustion engines take a back seat. Now, who wants fewer choices? It gets even more interesting when you hear that around 40% of dealers gave Ford's tier program a hard pass. The rest, reluctantly on board, threw the towel on embracing a flood of EVs into their dealerships. It's like a standoff dealers saying, "No thank you," and Ford insisting, "Yes please." Ford has maneuvered itself into a tight spot with this decision. Those markups stay intact if dealers stand their ground and fend off the tier program. But if Ford steamrolls ahead, customers get herded towards EVs, even if they're not clamoring. Either way, Ford's brand image risks getting a few smudges. While dealing with dealer markups isn't everyone's cup of tea, enforcing these head-scratching terms on retailers and customers alike feels like Ford is shooting itself in the foot. Indeed, there's a middle ground between dealer markups and pushing everyone into the EV lane. Let's talk about the truth that can't be denied. The EV craze that was once very popular is dying down. Not only is Ford under a lot of pressure, but so is every other car company whose EV models are losing popularity. Even Tesla, one of the first companies to make electric cars, is seeing a drop in sales. GM is an excellent example of how hard it is to make EVs. They had big plans and thought they could make more than 500,000 EVs annually. But guess what? The truth hit back. Their customers clarified that no one is waiting to buy their EVs. The Cadillac Lyriq EV has difficulty getting into garages, and the Hummer EV just sits there collecting dust. Things got so bad that GM put the brakes on planned EV models and delayed or cancelled them altogether. They've even chosen to stop making EVs to focus on making traditional fuel-powered cars, which are still selling like crazy. On the other hand, Ford isn't ready to give up yet. Yes, they are still pushing expensive electric vehicles, EVs, and doing their best to convince us that it's a good idea to buy one in this crazy market. But let's be honest, Ford could be in for a rude awakening when they see how much money they've lost. The strange twist is that Ford was a big part of letting the EV craze balloon pop. The Ford Maverick came along, a small truck that screamed, "Hey, you can have useful cheap transportation without breaking the bank." People were given a wake-up call. Let's give it a wrap. Do share your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that like button, share and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.